So in the previous video, I showed you how to cut it. Now I'm going to show you how to sew it. I took it apart because one of the videos didn't come out. So excuse all the threads, but basically where we pinned those straps, you'll want to go in and sew them down securely. See the straps here? We've already had them pinned, so we're going to sew them in there. I like to zigzag in a spot you don't see. You don't want to zigzag at the top, but that way, once you sew the top piece in, this thing is not going to rip out. So just sew them in securely. And then the next step I did was I took the gray top piece, put one to the front and one to the back right here. I sewed down the sides so that it's closed up, and then I took it on here and I sewed this strip down, as you can see, so that when you take this apart, this would be how the bag would look without, obviously the top part's not finished off, but this would be the front with the handles. So now we're going to take that bag, and we've done the same thing with an inside bag, so that way we can switch colors. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put one inside the other. Let's see, you got to have the correct sides, the right sides facing each other. And then we're going to line up the side seams. And then we're going to go ahead. Now, in this, I have a little hole in this side seam so that I can go in and close it up when we're all done. You can do it in the bottom or in the side. Let's just set this here for a second. That'll help hold it into place while I get this all. Got to make sure everything is tucked inside. And you'll definitely want to pin this to make sure that it doesn't move around or anything like that. And then make sure side seams match up. Side seams right here matching up. And then definitely pin it where the straps are. They'll want to pull in while you're working on it. So just pin all these places all the way around. Oops, this handle has to go inside. And then let's go ahead and sew it. I want a straight stitch. And I'm going to make it really big just to make this fast. Just to show you, but you won't want to do it fast. You'll want to make sure it's a nice, clean, straight line. If you mess up a little, when you flip it around, nobody will notice, so it's okay. I like the hole to be on the inside, not the outside or the top. You can do it in the top if you'd like, and then you just top stitch it. I'll show you that real quick. You would use the same idea on the side seam. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to back stitch a little, and then so I'm going to show you on the top how you would do it, and then I'll show you on if you want to have it on the inside. Then so you'd skip a space so you could pull it through, and just sew that whole thing all the way around. Go back to exactly where you started from. And I think I've reached there. Okay. Now, this hole right here that I left, and like I said, you can do it on a side seam. I'm going to show you on the front, on the top, because it'll just be easier to understand. You're going to twist that whole bag inside out. Now, this bag I've made reversible, so that's why we have all the layers. Let's get this out. Good to have that small hole for finishing off, but sometimes for turning, not so good. So let's keep turning it through, turning it. Oh, there we go. And then let's pull this bag inside. Excuse me. Let's pull the straps out. So in this case, I'm going to do a top stitch all the way around, and so what'll happen is when I get to this space that I had opened, let's open that up just a little bit more because the strap got caught. I'm going to clean out all these threads before I sew it. But what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put it on my machine. Cut that out, Adrian, okay? I'm going to use my presser foot right here as a guide, and then what I will do is I will sew all the way around evenly. And I'll flip it around so you can see what I mean, and I'll finish the whole thing later, but just so you see. So see how it has a nice even stitch around it. Something though I like to do is go back in and right at the very top so that you don't end up with like a gap here. I will also sew a second stitch here. So let me show you on this side with the blue. So one here and one at the very, very top, just before it hits the edge, so that it appears as if you've sewed the whole thing all the way around without any gaps. And it'll give it some nice decorative stitching. This is definitely the, before you sew it together, if you want to embroider a name or something on this top part or anywhere else, do it before you sew it together because it'll make it a lot easier to get that embroidered. So that is how you sew the bag together. Thank you for watching our video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure and click here to subscribe because we're going to have some amazing DIY videos coming out. And if you want to get our free complete dance costume DIY guide, click right here or go to bdancewear.com/DIY guide. And lastly, if you have any questions or ideas for future videos, please leave it in the comments below. Thanks again for watching our video, and remember, be original, be colorful, be dancewear.com.